Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Anch. And today we're talking about something crazy, something wild, something that'll make you want to smash that subscribe button. What if the internet just vanished? Like, poof, gone. Imagine waking up one morning, picking up your phone, and nothing works. No social media, no emails, no Google, no Netflix, just a dead screen. Now imagine this isn't just your phone, but the entire world's internet has shut down. What happens next? Chaos, peace, or something much worse? Dude, it would be absolute madness. We take the internet for granted so much. It's like oxygen for the modern world. Let's break it down step by step. Okay, picture this. It's 8 a.m. on a Monday and you're just waking up. You reach for your phone, ready to scroll through TikTok or check your Instagram, but wait, nothing's loading. Your Wi-Fi symbol? Gone. You try turning your data on and off, restarting your phone, maybe even throwing it at the wall in frustration. Don't actually do that, though. Still nothing. What the heck is going on, you think? You check your window, half expecting to see a zombie apocalypse brewing outside. But nope, everything looks normal, except it's not normal, is it? Because pretty soon you realize it's not just you. It's everyone. WhatsApp messages aren't going through, Google searches are stuck on loading, and YouTube? Forget about it, and that's when the panic starts to set in. People are freaking out, trying to call each other, but even cell service might be spotty, because guess what? Those networks rely on the internet too. It's like someone hit the world with a giant off switch. Now, some people might actually be stoked about this at first. Finally, a break from all the online drama, they might say, but that initial excitement would wear off pretty quickly, especially when people realize the extent of this internet outage. Think about it. Online banking, kaput, ATMs, useless. Credit card transactions, denied. We're talking about a full-blown cash-only society, and who carries around wads of cash these days? Imagine the lines at the ATMs, people desperately trying to withdraw money, only to find out the bank's systems are down too. The stock market, it would be like a roller coaster plummeting off the tracks. Businesses, especially those that rely heavily on online sales, would be completely in the dark. Airports would be pure chaos, with flights grounded because ticketing systems and even some navigation tools rely on the internet. Day one would be a wild ride of confusion, frustration, and a whole lot of wait. We can't live without the internet, can we? All right, so we're past the initial shock of the internet vanishing. Now it's day two, and the reality of the situation is sinking in like a sinking ship. Remember those long lines at the ATMs on day one? Yeah, those ATMs are probably out of cash by now. Banks are struggling to function because even their offline systems are heavily reliant on the internet for things like transaction processing and security. We're talking about a potential financial meltdown, people. Those small businesses, the local shops, the restaurants that rely on digital payment systems, they're struggling to stay afloat. E-commerce giants, they're basically dead in the water. No online orders, no deliveries, just empty warehouses and confused employees. And it's not just about buying stuff online. Think about international trade, the backbone of the global economy. It relies heavily on the internet for communication, logistics, and payments. Without it, everything grinds to a halt. The price of essential goods would likely skyrocket due to shortages and panic buying. Remember those gas pipelines and shipping networks I mentioned earlier? Yeah, those heavily depend on the internet for monitoring and control. We're talking about potential disruptions in fuel supplies, food deliveries, and basically everything else that keeps our modern world running smoothly. Governments would be scrambling to find workarounds, but let's be real. Untangling this mess would be like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. It's not going to be pretty. Chapter 3, Day 4 and 5, Global Chaos and Media Blackout. Welcome to Day 4 and 5, folks, where things are going from bad to worse. Remember how we talked about news spreading like wildfire in the digital age? Well, without the internet, traditional media outlets are struggling to keep up. News channels are relying on outdated methods like phone calls and telegrams to gather information, and let's be real, it's slow and unreliable. Governments are having a hard time communicating with their embassies, intelligence agencies, and even their own security forces. We're talking about a potential communication breakdown on a global scale. Emergency services? Good luck getting help quickly when 911 operators can't access your location or medical records easily. Hospitals are struggling to function because patient data, medical imaging, even some life-saving equipment relies on internet connectivity. And here's the scary part. In the absence of reliable information, rumors and misinformation spread like wildfire. Think about it, no social media to debunk fake news, no fact-checking websites to rely on. People are easily swayed by fear and uncertainty, which could lead to panic buying, riots, and social unrest. Governments would be forced to rely on old-school methods like radio broadcasts and loudspeaker announcements to disseminate information and try to maintain order. But in a world so accustomed to instant communication and 24/7 news cycles, the silence from the digital world would be deafening. It would be a stark reminder of how vulnerable our hyper-connected world really is. Chapter 4, Day 6 and 7. Adaptation or breakdown. All right, we're reaching the end of our internetless week, and by now, the world is a very different place. Some essential services might start limping back to life as backup systems are cobbled together and workarounds are found. Think of it like a digital detox on a global scale. TV channels might start broadcasting emergency updates more frequently, and newspapers, remember those, would make a surprising comeback as people crave any scrap of information. But let's not sugarcoat it. The economic and social consequences of this internet outage would be severe. Many businesses, especially smaller ones, would be forced to close their doors for good. The financial markets would be in shambles, and it would take months, if not years, for the global economy to recover. International relations would be strained, and the lack of communication could easily escalate existing conflicts. But amidst all the chaos and uncertainty, something interesting might happen. Without the constant distractions of the digital world, people might actually start talking to each other again. Families might rediscover the joy of board games and face-to-face conversations. Communities might come together to support each other, sharing resources and information. It would be a stark reminder that even in the face of adversity, human connection and resilience can prevail. However, the long-term impact on our digital infrastructure would be undeniable. This internet apocalypse would force governments and tech companies to rethink their reliance on a single point of failure. It would be a wake-up call to invest in more resilient systems, decentralized networks, and offline backups. The internet might eventually come back online, but the world would never be quite the same. Outro: the internet, a blessing and a curse. So, could we survive a week without the internet, maybe? But it would come at a massive cost. Businesses would crumble, financial systems would teeter on the brink, and global communication would grind to a halt. We'd be thrown back into a world we thought we'd left behind, forced to adapt and find new ways to connect. The modern world is more dependent on the internet than we realize. If this ever happens, only those who are prepared, both mentally and financially, will handle it better. Think about it. Do you have a plan? Cash on hand? Ways to connect with loved ones offline? It's a scary thought, but it's always better to be prepared. What do you think? Would a week without the internet be a disaster or a blessing in disguise? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this thought experiment, make sure to subscribe for more what-if scenarios like this.